Well, I'm looking at a William Behringer journal, and, I was looking at his handwriting, and, we were talking about John Hancock. John Hancock, we all, sign our John Hancock, right? And we do that because John Hancock's really bold signature on the Declaration of Independence. And we can know about him, and he's famous. He's part of popular culture because of that signature. We're losing the ability, because of technology, to write in our own hand and to write cursive. When William Behringer was writing this journal sometime probably around 1907, he could have been using an early form of a fountain pen. Now, a fountain pen was the modern pen at the time. They had only came about at the end of the 19th century. And we have a nib and a barrel that has ink in it. So the ink will come down through the nib, and then you can write. And if it's a good nib, it might be gold, which will make it flexible. And it'll flex similar to the preferred dip pen for people who wanted to have a good writing technique, which was a quill pen, and often a goose quill. But right here I have a turkey feather. It's a good American turkey feather here. Now, if I wanted to take this turkey feather and turn it into a pen, I might cut some of these feathers off so I could get a little higher up on it, but I also have to have a pen knife. So a pen knife is not just any pocket knife. It's a pocket knife that has a very specific shaped blade so that I can cut a feather in to have a nib on it like a dip pen.
Oh, very interesting.
Feathers can be flexible because what you want when you're dipping, or if you've got a good fountain pen, you want the nib to flex so you can have a thin line or a thick line as you're writing.
Very, very interesting.
Now here I have a couple of other examples, and some of these you may have seen in another video. This was probably all written with a dip pen. This is muster rolls from the 41st Kentucky Covington individuals in 1863. And here is a really great deed. It's a land exchange. It says this indenture. This is actually on parchment, and it's from 1828, and it's English. So it's not even American, but it's a beautiful document that is it's really just documenting the everyday. The same with, we've got lists of soldiers that are in the muster roll. This is everyday life that is being documented in ways that we don't necessarily document life for these mundane details in oral histories. Oral histories are wonderful stories and important parts of our understanding of the past, but the day-to-day life of a common individual or a land transfer or men who are fighting in a war aren't necessarily documented in that way in oral histories. So for us, we have to still be able to, once we had written language, we have to be able to read it. And as our society moves to things with more technology and more technology, we've got younger generations of people that cannot read handwriting. And someday, if we're not careful, we're going to have a whole group of historians, whole group of museum professionals and people that won't be able to read this in the past. And we'll have generations that may look at something like we used to look at hieroglyphics.